Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? My name is Sal. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down this 6-game slate, Thursday 6-game slate in the NBA. We're back to normal size slates, no 3-game, 11-game, 5 days in a row, all that crap. Now we got a decent slate here. And there's a good amount to cover early on, and I'm excited to kind of break it down, have a nice in-between slate. Some of my favorite slates are between 6 and 8 games. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, my name is Sal Vetri, and I cover daily fantasy sports in the NFL, what is now the NBA, and what will be the MLB streets. We've had a ton of fun here. I've had a ton of fun here. I don't know if you guys have. I think you have, though. So welcome to the community. If you can hit me with that thumbs up button right now, if you're a returning subscriber or somebody new, it helps me out a ton, pushes us up the rankings. Last night we had a contest, and I'll be reaching out to the winner in terms of the highest value point per dollar, so value play for centers last night. We're going to be doing the exact same thing tonight, except for point guard. So who's going to be the best point per dollar point guard for $5 PayPal? If there's multiple people who enter the same person, I'll just spin a wheel. I'll be reaching out to you in the comments below for the person who won. So definitely do that. Comment down below, like, and also if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I'll just knock out some of these laundry lists or some of the housekeeping for the day. We're broadcasting on Twitch right now, live streaming platform. I do my broadcasts over on Twitch, then I upload them to YouTube, and then sometimes I put them on my podcast. So come hang on Twitch. I go over my lineups beforehand. A lot of people have been asking where I score in lineups. I've been going over those beforehand, my exact lineups, my thinking before them. But I don't like to do those on YouTube, just kind of give you guys incentive to go over to Twitch. Last night we scored 310, and we did very well on a big 11-game slate that was pretty much underwhelming in terms of the overall totals and some of the cash lines and things like that. Other than that, I do want to say that our projections are up and they're running fine. People in the Discord are getting them, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from them. You can get the projections right down below over on Patreon. It's for Draftkings or FanDuel, whichever one you want to do. You come over here, you literally just sign up, you put it in, and any proceeds I get from that are going to eliminate my student debt. That's just as transparent as I can be, so I can be doing this more full-time. And lastly, I just want to mention this right here. This is Discord. We have people chatting in here nonstop. We have golf just started, NBA's where it's pretty hot, obviously, right as of now, the main sport going. Hop on in here. This thing's growing. We're at around, 143 right now in the Discord. That's insane. So hop on in. Everybody's talking. I mean, it's help. I'm answering questions on who 1v1s that I would do and things like that. So hop on in there. There's a link down below. It's totally free. You can come in here. You can hang out with the community. It's a ton of fun. Make sure to get over on Twitch as well. But we're going to start this one off. A 6-game slate. Thank you so much. Just remember, at any point, hit that like button if you can for me. And drop down below who's going to be the highest scoring point per dollar point guard in the YouTube comments below. All right. So we got a 6-game slate, 12 teams. Half the teams are on a back-to-back tonight. You can see those teams right here. We got Golden State, Houston, Miami, Utah, Minnesota, and Indy, all on back-to-back. Some good defenses on this slate as well, and we'll get into that. So in terms of the news, I have this filtered by the team, right? So we're going to be starting with Cleveland, alphabetical. And news is the biggest thing, as you guys all know that. Last night, if you weren't paying attention before lock, 30 minutes before lock, you missed the Hassan Whiteside out news. That made Bam, in my opinion, the best play on the slate at his $4,000 price, starting at the center position, going up against no Boogie Cousins. Automatically put him in the lineup. You missed Tyus Jones definitely starting. It was in question all day at 4,500. Second best play on the slate, in my opinion. So you missed a lot of things, and you just couldn't win then. You couldn't build to get up to different guys, or you probably couldn't at least. So got to keep up on the news, and this is just my refresher for the morning. 6-game slate, some things are probably going to change. Tristan Thompson is still out. He has not gone through practice, his foot injury. Still going to affect Larry Nance, Zizic, and Kevin Love, who's now seeing his minutes increase, but his price not increase, so definitely interesting. Trey Lyles remains out. Seems like this hamstring's a little bit more of an issue for Trey Lyles. Going to solidify more of Paul Millsap's minutes in the upper 20s, touching the 30s, and Mason Plumlee will be the direct backup. DeMarcus Cousins, who rested yesterday, no need to worry. He is back today. It's going to affect Kevin Looney, who will drop right out of the starting lineup. Also, Draymond Green, who sees, and really this whole team who sees a usage bump when a high usage, 25% plus usage player like Cousins drops out of the lineup. You can see right here, 27.5% usage. Kenneth Faried left yesterday's game, and the big reason Clint Capella went off yesterday is because Nene was already ruled out for that game, and then Kenneth Faried got hurt, so Capella literally had to play the entire second half. The man played like 40 or 41 minutes. So Faried's in question today. We don't really have an update. I'm just saying he's questionable because he left yesterday's game, but that's obviously going to affect PJ Tucker, who would automatically slide back into the power forward spot, and Clint Capella. Nene is back, so I could actually also put in Nene here. He was just resting yesterday. He's back. Hassan Whiteside is out again, so it seems like he has a hip issue. It's going to affect Bam, whose price has not changed on DK. It's going to affect Kelly Olynyk, and that's pretty much it. Derrick Jones Jr. to an extent, but those are the main guys. James Johnson is listed as out. And this is going to affect Derrick Jones Jr., who is going to see more minutes now that he's coming back, or has been back, getting healthier. Kelly Olynyk, and Rodney McGruder. Nobody really there that stands out a bunch, but Kelly O going to be getting some center minutes and power forward, especially with Whiteside out. In terms of the Knicks, there's a couple of guys out. We have Frankie still out, so nothing really major there. It affects all the guards, mainly the ones who are seeing less minutes, like Trier, like Moutier, compared to DSJ and Dotson. It's going to affect DeAndre Jordan's going to be out. This is going to continue to affect Mitchell Robinson, all the bigs, Noah Vonleh, Luke Cornett. It's going to be interesting to see if Mitchell Robinson gets put into the starting five now. He's been crushing it in the past 2 games. 30-plus minutes in each off the bench. Block Party Robinson having a career game the last 2 times out. And his price is up. I think it's $6,400, which is probably where it should be. If not, still a little undervalued. Mario Hezonja, I don't have anything in for him here, but it's going to affect the likes of Noah Vonleh minutes more at the 4. It's going to affect the likes of Luke Cornett, even Lance Thomas if he still draws a start. Absolute dust. Getting more run at the 4 there. Isaiah Briscoe being doubtful. This is actually decently big news. Not so much for Briscoe, but for what it opens up for DJ Augustine. Augustine's seen his minutes stabilize closer to 30 with Briscoe being out. They leave him in there a little bit longer, and that helps him. He gets more assist percentage, goes up a little bit. Obviously, more time at the point guard position is always great, and he's been playing decent, and his price at $4,500 hasn't been really reflective of that. Hasn't come up. Jerian Grant also played 18 minutes, only scored like 1 or 2 DraftKings points. Absolutely dreadful, right? His last time out, but he'll still see minutes up. Boban is out. We've known this for a few days, and I should also put in Embiid's out, but you guys probably already know that. Boban being out, I really don't know what's going to happen with these bigs. It's going to be interesting to see the lineup. Bolden got the start at the 5 last time when Boban was actually active. So Bolden will probably get the start at the 5. He's going to be a very sexy value play today. Against Steven Adams and OKC, it seems risky off the bat, but we'll have to see what pricing does for us. Tobias Harris, power forward spot, maybe even could see 5 minutes tonight. I like that a lot. Amir Johnson, they don't want to play this man at all. He's absolute dust can. You'd probably see 5 minutes. Bolden out there. It's going to be interesting to see who else gets some time. They might have signed, somebody signed Patton. We'll have to look at that. Let's see if it's on DraftKings yet. We'll quickly go over here because I want to know. And this is the lineup from last night, 310. We entered the single entry. Let me just quickly look because I want to see. That's just a filler lineup. You guys want to take it, you can, but it's definitely changing. Patton was signed by, Philly. So Patton, they just signed him, like literally just fresh off of the G League. So we'll see. I doubt he gets put into the starting lineup, but at 3,200, he's also going to be somebody who's going to be impacted. We could add that on. Ricky Rubio came out of yesterday's game. Dante Exum's already been out. Raul Neto, I believe, will see some time if Rubio is out. We don't know anything. I'm just putting questionable because he left with a hamstring and didn't come back. But point Donovan Mitchell can be very interesting. Obviously, with Rubio out, there's much more usage, especially at the point guard position for Mitchell, which is where I never play Mitchell, but if he's going to start at the point without Rubio, especially on a 6-game slate, gives him a bump. Nene's going to be back and probable. Really doesn't affect much, but he'll be the backup center. I doubt they put him at the 4 if we do get news that Farid is out. So nothing major there. So that's the news for today, gang. Somewhat a good amount of it, right? Whiteside being out, we already know we're going to get news there. Something to monitor actually would be Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague I don't have on here, and I should. So we'll add Jeff Teague because Tyus Jones has just been the ultimate value, and his price hasn't changed either. So we'll just put Jeff Teague as questionable. I would guess that Jeff Teague is going to be back today. If not, run right back out there with Tyus Jones. I know Derrick Rose had a good game yesterday. And what were Rose's minutes at? Let's check Rose on DraftKings. Did he get over 25? So he played 27, which is something we haven't seen. And if we're going to get those minutes out of D Rose at 5,600, we know that he could do this. We know that he can have a ceiling game if he gets closer to 30. So monitor that, but I still think if Tyus Jones is the starter there, you're going to save $1,100 in going to Tyus Jones if Teague remains out. If not, then Teague is definitely in play. So that's injury news. Before we get over to the target offense sheet, just want to quickly shout out Draft Dashboard, a sponsor of today's video. We've talked about them before. I do like Draft Dashboard. I use it for my research. It helps me look at my projections, compare it to theirs, minutes, whatever it might be, usage, make sure everything's on track, easier to look at. They do release ownership now, and really it's just a way to cut down your research time. Everything's right here on a dashboard. You can copy and paste it into your own projections if you want. Whatever you want to do, you could save players into watch lists. So whoever you're interested in today, I'm not interested in Harden, or maybe I am. It's just, this is from yesterday. You can save players you're interested in. They'll go into a player pool. You can then build lineups from there. So it's pretty cool. They have an NBA cheat sheet in terms of just, it's not ready yet, but obviously it's like 10 a.m. But it comes out, I think, around noon, and it pretty much tells you what the slate looks like at a glance as quickly as it can. So it's pretty good, and the reason I like it is because they've been allowing me to be on a promotion with you guys as well. 30 days for $1 down below. If you want it in the Twitch chat, it's !dashboard to try it out. They have a lineup optimizer. You can play around with a lot of things here. Again, 30 days for $1 is the reason that I got sold on it, and I mean, you're saving money. This is from the Super Bowl NFL, but I mean, we can go back to NBA. So yeah, check out Draft Dashboard. It helps me out if you guys do. And again, I wouldn't be promoting anything that I didn't think gave you overwhelming value. And for $1, just try it out for a month. You could delete it if you want. It gives you pretty overwhelming value, I'd say. So that's Draft Dashboard. If you're still watching right now, please hit me with a thumbs up. Please let me know, again, who's going to be the highest point per dollar point guard tonight on this 6-game slate for a $5 PayPal depositor. Yeah, let's move over to target offense. So target offense will increase this a little bit. See it blow up a little bit here. This is going to get thrown into the Discord as it usually does, and as now I can get it into a Excel document for you guys. So make sure to get in the Discord. This comes right in there. So target offense, again, 6 games today, 12 teams. We have this filtered by pace. So some of these values aren't popping. Let's do this. Let's unfilter by pace, actually. That actually might help here. So a little quick and dirty while on stream, just so we can get all these projected team totals out. So sort. Let's go by column A. Yeah, so we have a filter by pace, and then we'll do, bear with me one second. Pretty much the projected totals are right over here, so it doesn't really matter too much. I can just project these totals. We can do something like that. And then we'll come back over. So this is where just the Vegas, the back end of it, I guess you can say, is. We'll just go sort the entire thing by column A. Messes it up. All right, we're not going to worry about it right now. The totals will be out. They'll be in the Discord as well, so just stick with me with that. So Minnesota, we can see right here, and you have the team total right here, which is the main thing that really matters in terms of just looking at it. So Minnesota versus Indy, both on a back-to-back, so a little bit scary. Indy has been playing a little bit worse defense as of late for a team that has been pretty good. Minnesota, obviously, you got Karl-Anthony Towns, whatever it might be. The highest pace spot on the slate, which is very interesting to me. Guys in this game that I'm interested in, obviously we already talked about Tyus Jones. I'm also interested in, if Tyus Jones doesn't play because Jeff Teague's in, then Jeff Teague. Karl-Anthony Towns at a pay-up spot is always interesting. And obviously, we're going to get Thad Young, who I like, and I like Miles Turner without Sabonis for solidified minutes. But yeah, outside of that, I like the point guard position against, especially if Teague is in. It's a little bit better of a matchup for a guy like Collison. You can see right here, DK points over the last 30 days given up. The best matchup on the slate, or right around the best matchup on the slate, is tonight for Collison. The best matchup by a fraction of a point pretty much is down here. We're going to get Dennis Smith Jr. against Cleveland, which is just being not the Atlanta Hawks, but pretty close to it in terms of giving up points to that position. So what we have after that, and let me get Miami, Houston, and this is Philly and OKC. So we'll go Vegas, Miami, and Houston. So we're going to go right here, and then we're going to go Philly, OKC right here. So bang, target offense, bang. All right, perfect. So we just got to make it bold. We're all good to go now. Center that bad boy, and we outshare. Perfect. All right, so everything's in now. Miami, Houston. So yeah, Miami, obviously Bam's in a smash spot, and we're going to talk about this. That's where you probably want to go today at the same exact price point. Maybe even a better matchup than Golden State. Cousins being out helped his matchup yesterday, but I'm not too worried about anything in Houston. Not worried about Capella too much for Bam. I think he can handle that. Kelly O's also in a great spot here, a decent spot. And you can see right here, so Miami versus Houston. Houston, not in the red. This is a decent spot for him, right? Definitely in a positive on the night. For Bam at 4,000, I really don't know what else to say. The total here, and the total for all these games, I should point out, there's a couple of decent totals on this slate, and then there's one that really stands out, and that's the next one, Philly OKC. This is by far and away, and the totals might have been updated. I was doing this last night, but this is by far and away the best spot if you want a game stack, which you can on a 6-game slate. 239 total. The game, I think it's like an 8-point spread, so it should stay close. But here we go. It's decent pace, 239 total. What are the pieces in this game that you like? Well, no Joel Embiid makes it a lot fishier, right? A lot of people like to jump on Ben Simmons the last game. I was all in Tobias Harris. I mean, the big man Embiid is out. They're putting in Jonah Bolden. Why not Tobias Harris? And I still feel the same exact way. I don't know if I really like Bolden. Now that Bam's playing, and Bam is power forward eligible, so you can get both. You can get a lot of centers in this lineup today. Now that Bam's playing, I'll have to see what lineup construction looks like. Maybe you go Bam and Bolden, but I'm not sure that I need to go Bolden, especially only 18 minutes last time out, although now no Boban at all. So Bolden should get a lot more run. So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure to see how that's going to go. We need to get this guy out of here. Come on, get out. There you go. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. I like this game a lot. I think there's upside. The opposite side with OKC, I think Steven Adams' price is a little bit too cheap. And I think, yeah, his production's hit, right? It's hard because he's got guys who are trying to stress each other for triple-doubles and MVP each night. Paul George, Russell Westbrook. But I do believe that Steven Adams' price is a little bit too cheap, especially since he's going to be going up against Jonah Bolden or just out of the G League Patton. I think that's pretty fine, and I like that actually a good amount. So outside of that, yeah, Russ and Paul George, obviously you want both of them in most spots as much as you can get from them. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pay up. We'll have to see. Outside of that, yeah, I won't talk too much. I think that Dennis Smith's in a great spot against Cleveland. I think that depending on where you want to go, Jokic is in obviously a great spot. Again, these smaller slates with Jokic, it's just Jokic is just great. I mean, he's underpriced, and we're about to get to that. Also, Vooch is in a decent spot, but with Cousins coming back, maybe not a little less unideal. We'll move over right now to early interest. Again, this will be in the Discord. Hop down below right now. I want to give you a little pause because if you like daily fantasy sports, hop down below right now. Hit the Discord link if you're not already in there. There's 150 people in there. We're chatting each night. It's not overwhelming at all. And really, we're helping each other build better lineups in there, keeping each other up on the news, letting each other know who's thin and who's not. Get in there. It's totally free. It's just absolute ultimate value. You ever hear of knowledge spillover? It's just when you're sitting in a room. That's what Silicon Valley is. You're sitting in a room with people who are just very smart at the same or even, which is better, higher education level than you or just experience level. And you learn from them just by being around them. So definitely get in there. We'll head over to early interest. And there's a good amount on here. But to be completely honest with you, this was just me picking up last night based on my projections, which again, you can get those over at Patreon. But really following based off my projections and just what seemed interesting to me when I was looking at the salary, right? So, I mean, no ranking order, but the Joker, Nikola, $10,000 is still too cheap. The man's price doesn't change after just going for 65 plus points. 60 points at 10K, you take every single day in every single format. That's 6x in tournaments, right? That's a smash in cash. So 10K is just way too cheap. You can get him in your lineup because guys like Bam are cheap and power forward eligible. So, I mean, I just love him. There's not much more to say for me. There's obviously better values probably on the slate, but in terms of what the ceiling is for this guy compared to what his range of outcomes from his floor to his ceiling is at his price point in a decent matchup, yeah, I'm fine with it. Tobias Harris, $7,300. Look, I like Harris and Butler. I'm not too much on the Ben Simmons train. I think Harris has taken away a lot of that usage for Simmons in terms of just pure scoring. Harris is going to be down at the 4. He'll stretch it out to the 3-point line to get you that bonus. He'll get the rebounds for the double-double. So yeah, obviously the triple-double is more so with Ben Simmons, but I'm saving $1,100 for the guy who's been the much better player since Embiid's been out. Same thing with Jimmy Butler, $7,100. I think he's decently underpriced, especially since Embiid's out. Those are the two guys that I like over there. Kevin Love at $6,900. So the guy is cheap, right? And let's check really quick on DraftKings Kevin Love's minutes. And since this, I typed in minutes. Kevin Love's minutes since the minutes restriction has been loosened. Look at this. 26 minutes and 28 minutes. If we can bank on Kevin Love averaging those since this minutes restriction has been lifted in a game that's going to be competitive because both teams stink in Cleveland and New York, good matchup for him as well. Who's he going to be going up against? Yeah, Mitchell Robinson block party, but not the whole game. And then it's Noah Vonleh, who can be very well handled. And Mitchell Robinson, good defender, but I mean, Kevin Love is Kevin Love. I could see him getting, again, 28 to 29 minutes tonight at $6,900 for Kevin Love, who probably pays off if he just hits his floor or just hits his median right there. He's going to pay that off. If he goes for anything more, he's going to go bananas. I like $6,900 Kevin Love. Once again, power forward eligible. It's another potential center with Bam you can get in your lineup and build from there. Mitchell Robinson, $6,400. I really want to see if this guy's in the starting lineup. If not, obviously it doesn't matter. He's gone for 45 plus the last 2 times out. $6,400 is still probably too cheap for him, especially against Cleveland. If he's in the starting lineup, he's a great play. Dennis Smith Jr., I love the matchup. I like that his price went down a little bit, $400. So yeah, I do enjoy that. $6,300, same price. Steven Adams, we already mentioned against Jonah Bolden, whoever's going to be starting there. You have to imagine that's a plus matchup for Adams on both ends in terms of more block upside, more rebound opportunity upside, offensive, and then just pure scoring. Fournier, I'm going to list here because he's just a great cash play, especially on these smaller game slates. You can lock in his 33 plus minutes, and you could expect 30 fantasy points out of him each night with a ceiling like we saw in the last game closer to 40. Will Barton, I might even take Will Barton off here. At the same price point, I'd rather go Colin Sexton, who's a point guard, going to get more usage. Will Barton, not too much interest other than his price only came up $100 after going for a good game at 35 points. But I really don't think he's consistent and should get there. But again, these are early interest. These are not picks. So I'll say really just who comes to mind, whether it's good or bad. Cedi Osman, I do like at 4,900. I like both of these Cavs guys just based on their price range. Yeah, $4,900 for Osman. You get the small forward eligibility there. He's been scoring at a clip since he's been back and healthy. I don't hate it. Damyean Dotson, 4,600. So this guy's price only comes up $200, and he only saw 17 minutes last time. Fizdale playing any Nick is very scary, outside of maybe Mitch Robinson, because it just seems like he loves him now. But that'll probably end up in him seeing 10 minutes tonight. But if you want to take that risk, it's Damyean Dotson. I think the safest Knicks are Dennis Smith Jr. and probably Robinson, but Damyean Dotson is still too cheap if he's going to go back to his upper 20s minutes like we saw for pretty much a week before that last game. Tyus Jones, I already said, if Jeff Teague is out, I love him. Derek Favors, price only comes up or comes down $100, I think. After being a great value yesterday, he remains that. You can see right here in my value, I have him at the highest value that I've given you out of these guys right here. How many points does that translate to? Well, that's over on the projection sheet. Which you guys can't see, but the people, it's already in the Discord. The projections are up. If you want in, head over to Patreon. And then just finishing up, Jonah Bolden, yeah, I put him on here because he's definitely interesting, right? He's probably going to start at the 5. You want guys that start at the 5. He has power forward eligibility. He's only $4,000, but he has a tough matchup. We don't know what his minutes are. We don't know what this Patton news is going to bring about. Patton should see some run. I imagine Jonah Bolden sees closer to 25 minutes today, but I have no idea. So we'll have to watch. There hasn't been this situation yet when Boban or both starters, centers for the team have been out. Donovan Mitchell, $8,000. Yeah, this is a guy who I never play, but if Ricky Rubio's out and we're going to get Donovan Mitchell to get more point guard minutes, if not even potentially start at the point guard, especially since Dante Exum, the backup point guard there, has also been out. Between Nito and Mitchell, it's going to be real interesting. If Nito draws a start, he'll be interesting on a 6-game slate, but not sure the upside there. So these are just my early interests as always. Just want to let you guys know that for sure. Osman is so volatile. He can get you 40 or he can get you 10, says Bander. Yeah. He can, but I think 10 is a little low for him. I think his floor is closer to the 20s when he's going to be seeing constant now 30 minutes. And he's not volatile when he's getting his secure minutes. Now that he's back and healthy, I think he's fine. But yeah, I think that that's a true statement. He has a wide range of outcomes and is not as consistent as some of these other guys that we mentioned. But again, the price indicates that at 4,900, it's probably a little too cheap. So yeah, guys, a lot to cover today. 6-game slate. There's going to be more to talk about later on. I will be seeing and going to my sister's house since I'm home for the day before heading back to Penn State and seeing her new dog. So I no live before lock type things tonight, but I will be playing the slate. Yeah, I'll quickly just retouch. If you want the projections, and again, these projections, they're helping people. I've been getting that, and they're constantly being improved. I'm working on improving them as much as I can, adding new things to them. They'll be dropped in the Discord, which is our community where we chat all day long. Definitely check it out. It's totally free to get in the Discord. If you want the projections, if you want to support my work, you can head over to Patreon. And anything I make from this, I'm just trying to lower my student debt. It's a big number and just chipping away at it as many ways as I can, but still give you guys overwhelming value. I think the price point on this is a fraction of what a lot of other people charge for the exact same value. So Discord, again, hop in there, totally free. And definitely check out Draft Dashboard if you're still watching. Just click the link below. I mean, it's $1 for 30 days if you have any interest in just reducing your research time, whether it's from watching my videos, also getting a player pool ready so you can see exactly who you'd like to play, test out some lineups in their lineup optimizer. I do enjoy it. The guy over there is great, Chris. He's been helping me out a good amount in terms of just trying to grow my content. So thank you guys so much. That's about it. Hit me up on Twitter with any further questions. Get in the Discord. Check it all out. Best of luck. 6-game slate. It's a fun slate. It's a good size. My name's Sal. YouTube already knows that. You already know that. Peace out.